folks, and welcome to this, the January 17th, 2016 edition of Decision 2016 Digest. I'm your host, Scott Jones. This is the channel where we bring you the top politics, election, and policy headlines in 15 minutes or less. It's been a busy week, so let's get right into it. With the Iowa caucuses just 2 weeks from tomorrow, things got personal in last week's GOP primary debate in Charleston, South Carolina, hosted by Fox Business Network. In the undercard debate, those not polling high enough to be in the main debate, ex-HP CEO Carly Fiorina, former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee, and former Pennsylvania Senator Rick Santorum mixed it up, with Kentucky Senator Rand Paul declining to play ball after being knocked out of the main debate due to his low poll numbers. In short, all three undercard candidates had high points and no major gaffes, with Carly Fiorina going hard at Democratic candidate Hillary Clinton. In short, all did well, but none had that, what I'd call, breakout moment that would propel them sufficiently to challenge the GOP frontrunners at this time. In the main debate, a couple of cage matches developed, most notably between the GOP's two frontrunners, businessman Donald Trump and Texas Senator Ted Cruz. A couple of the most notable moments, summarized in my graphic here: Trump attacked Cruz on the citizenship issue as to whether or not he's eligible to run for president, and Cruz ragdolled Trump for having quote-unquote New York values, suggesting they are very liberal and not mainstream America values. For those of you that don't know, Ted Cruz was born in Canada to an American mother, making him an American citizen by birth. Trump continues to raise constitutional questions on his eligibility under the constitutional definition of natural-born citizen. In short, most reputable legal scholars say Cruz is eligible. One of the highlights of the entire debate was when Cruz eviscerated Trump on this very point, both as a debate tactic and on the substance of the legal arguments. Cruz has argued numerous cases before the U.S. Supreme Court. Trump, who made the same claim over Obama's birth certificate, was left rumpled. However, Trump turned the tables on Cruz when Ted came at him with the whole New York values angle, and Trump laid him out with an eloquent and well-delivered, moving riff on how New Yorkers survived and rebuilt after the attacks of 9/11. It had the crowd cheering, and Cruz, for once, speechless. Score one for the Donald. Here's my issue. There are so many important issues facing American families and the threats we face internationally. These petty, personality-based, small-ball skirmishes need to give way to solutions for problems we all face together as a country. While entertaining, my patience is about to wear thin on the personal attacks and bickering amongst the candidates. Fox Business Network and main debate moderators Maria Bartiromo and Neil Cavuto did an admirable job in their questioning of the candidates. A number of key issues, the economy, immigration, and national security, well, they were discussed in varying levels of detail. My overall assessment is this, based on the performances in this debate and the latest polls. This is a four-man race, barely. As of today, through Iowa and New Hampshire, Trump and Cruz hold a sort of co-front-runner status. Behind them is Senator Marco Rubio, who's been rising in the polls of late and had a decent outing in Charleston, tangling with Senator Cruz on immigration. I've added a question mark this week, since we talked last week, over New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, who is a distant but gaining ground in fourth place. As I said last week, anything could happen in the Iowa caucuses and New Hampshire primary. This has been an unprecedented election cycle, but I believe this is an accurate assessment of the field as things currently stand. Ted Cruz may very well win Iowa. My money is on Trump in New Hampshire, where Governor Chris Christie has to be a strong second or third to remain viable. It's his only hope. In my humble opinion, Jeb Bush, Dr. Ben Carson, Rand Paul, John Kasich, and all the rest are on life support or the walking dead. Look for the shots amongst the two front runners to intensify in the next 2 weeks before Iowa, and then the following week leading up to New Hampshire. We will keep you posted about it all right here on Decision 2016 Digest. Folks, I'm going to say this as politely as I can, but Hillary Clinton is in deep shit. There, I said it. Sorry, not sorry. It's the truth. Multiple confidential sources confirmed this past week that the FBI investigation into her mishandling of top secret material through her personal private email server while Secretary of State has been expanded to look at public corruption issues involving her family's nonprofit Clinton Foundation. The Clinton Foundation received a number of substantial contributions, in the millions, folks, from countries with business at the State Department while she was Secretary of State. This is troubling, to say the least. An expanded investigation by the FBI is bad news for anyone. This is a stunning development, yet she wants your vote to be President of the United States. This is getting serious, folks. Consequently, besides her deficiencies as a campaigner, I believe these developments are hurting her in the latest polling on the Democratic primary and her primary rival in that race, Socialist Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders. The latest polls show Bernie Sanders beating Hillary Clinton in both Iowa and New Hampshire, despite her name ID and nearly 30 years in public life. This, to me, is incredible and direct evidence of an election campaign in deep trouble. Her defenders suggest she would win the rest of the country after these two early races, but by any measure, this is devastating to any national candidate for the presidency. As we talked about last week, she has deployed her husband onto the campaign trail, former President Bill Clinton, to mixed reviews and continued media questions about his infidelities with the likes of Monica Lewinsky, Paula Jones, and others back in the 1990s. Hillary's own conduct of smearing these victims of her husband's sexual advances in the 90s highlight her weakness and hypocrisy of her self-proclaimed defender of women's rights. Imagine being a major Democratic fundraiser or leader, and your top candidate for President of the United States is running behind a socialist and or in danger of indictment for national security or public corruption charges. I predicted a year ago that Hillary Clinton will not be the Democratic nominee, and I stand by that prediction today. We shall see. Coming up on my radio show tomorrow at 10 a.m. on the 405 Radio Los Angeles, the streaming link is in the description below, I'll have Commentary Magazine's Deputy Editor Noah Rothman on, and we will break down this past week's debate even more and talk top politics and policy headlines of the week. Also mark your calendars, the final GOP primary debate before Iowa and New Hampshire will be on January 28th, hosted by Fox News Channel. Our friend Brett Baer, along with Megyn Kelly and Chris Wallace, will be the moderators. This will be must-see TV, folks, and you won't want to miss it. That's it for this week. If you like what you hear and what we're doing here, please give this video a thumbs up and like the channel. It lets me know that you appreciate the effort we're putting out and it's helping you in this important presidential election cycle. The links to my home radio station where you can catch my radio show every Monday, along with the show's info site, are also in the description down below. Please check them out. Also, just for my viewers here, if you like to listen to books instead of read them, I have a special hookup for you from audible.com. Use the special link below and you'll get your first month and first book download for free. No further obligation, just to try it out. Please hit that link for this great deal. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. We appreciate your continued support. Until next week, stay informed, get involved. Your country needs you, folks, and we'll see you next time right here on Decision 2016 Digest.